everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. This week's episode is entitled The Scarlet Letter, where we are joined with a special guest, and we're doing this for the second time. Roses are scarlet, violets are blue. We're doing another episode of Pokemon. You can call it episode or attempt Mewtwo. So come get Tangela'd up in our thoughts, just like a Carnivine. Cozy up with a mug of Sinistea. It's Girantina'd to be divine.
Oof.
Jesus Christ.
Oof. So we're actually joined with a special guest today, Roxy, also known as Rubu on Instagram. And her cat, Grandpa, here to join us to talk all things Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So, Roxy, welcome. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, of course.
Joining us.
Take two.
Yes.
Take two, unfortunately.
I don't know what
Number
you're
two.
talking about.
Yeah, that didn't happen, right?
Unfortunately,
that missed that week where we didn't have an episode. This is why.
Yeah.
because there was a colossal recording fuck up, and so none of it was salvageable. So we're starting again for the first time.
Feels like the first time. No.
So we are, like I said, we're talking Pokemon Scarlet, Violet. That came out a little while ago. November
2022.
Yes. So obviously we've brought Roxy in here because based on her background, she's big on the Pokemon. She even shared us. We got talking and talked about our early entries into Pokemon. Roxy, was your first red or blue?
Blue all the way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, Squirtle Squad forever.
Yes,
stand
Like the
with
cool
my
one with the sunglasses
Yeah.
from the cartoon, or like another.
Fuck yeah.
So you got your start early with there, and have you played every single one?
I believe I played every mainline game except Black and White and Black and White 2.
What?
I know. I mean,
Are
that
they
one
remakes,
came out.
or is it like?
No, the Black and White 2 essentially was the same thing with like revisions.
Oh, was it?
Think of it like when they added like Emerald to Ruby Sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I played
That was
Black
the
and
in-between
White.
era. Yeah.
Yeah, I played Black and White, but I didn't do Black, White 2.
No.
So
It's
I'm
the
not
same
sure
thing.
what was different there, yeah.
But did you play the Wiz Khalifa offshoot, Black and Yellow?
Oh.
Get out of here.
Woof.
You don't know what it is? So given that Roxy, aside from my shitty jokes here, given that you are the resident expert per se on Pokemon games, I know it would be like hard pressed to pick your like absolute favorite all time Pokemon game, but
maybe.
Maybe. I mean, do you have like a top 3 in mind that really stick out for you?
Oh, God. I feel like that's so tough because I think nostalgia plays a big part. And a lot of that is going back and trying to play some of them. I don't think they hold up as well. Especially N64 games, because personally I think the N64 did not age well.
No, it did not.
What are you talking about?
Unless you have a CRT TV, you need the blurriness of the TV to blur the pixels together.
You also
Yeah.
need the curvature, the
Yeah.
bubble curvature of the screen.
Oh, it's not even the games, it's the controller. That controller fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't disagree
Anyone
with
that says that that's their favorite controller ever is like
They're lying.
belongs in a psycho ward. Like you,
Yeah.
that is a shit controller.
Show me
Yeah.
your weird alien hands.
But yeah,
You
but
can't hold that without like jamming your hands together.
Not as an adult.
I don't know if I could rank them like 1, 2, and 3, but maybe 3 that stand out is I'm obviously going to have to give it to Gen 1, specifically Blue. But I was always very jealous of my older brother who had Yellow, which it was the same game, but I mean, hey, Pikachu got to follow you around.
Yeah,
this is true.
Pokemon Coliseum on the N64 was pretty cool too. That was the first time we could do 3D battles, but I haven't gone back to play it. And I'll give an honorable mention to Pokemon Puzzle League too. I don't know why that game was so fun.
Puzzle League.
Yeah. But also Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, I think was the full title, with the one on the GameCube. That game was great, and it was sort of the first time it kind of diverged from the main storyline where you go fight the whatever Team Rocket, fight the legendary at the end. The story was a little different. So
Right.
I gotta be honest.
Pokemon.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that game.
Yeah, I never played that.
There's a couple.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
I hope I got the title right. It's been a long time, and like, oh my god, I don't even want to know how much it costs to own that game now.
Oh boy.
GameCube games are so
GameCube
expensive.
games, yeah.
Yeah, with Pokemon
XD.
XD,
Right,
it's if you've seen the GameCube console that has Lugia on the circle part, that was like the limited edition GameCube that came with the game.
Oh fuck! I don't want to know how much that costs.
Oh,
Fuck.
that was way too much.
Yeah.
Millions.
With the Game Boy attachment thing on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing on top that turns it into a screen.
Yeah.
GameCube had all those weird attachments that nobody knows about.
Such a
Up until,
funny
like, the
console.
2000s, Nintendo was just like attachments.
Oh
All the
shit.
attachments.
So it looks like the cheapest copy of XD right now is around like, oh fuck me, the box is $100.
Just the box.
Just the empty box.
Oh, good
This
lord.
this one listing is like for GameCube with Manuel and poster, not manual, Manuel.
Oh,
If you had to wager,
maybe he tells you how to play.
how
True.
much?
He's a
Oh my
built-in
God.
tutorial.
He's your
tutorial. Yeah.
Okay, if you had to wager how much the GameCube edition, like with the GameCube and everything, cost, what would you bet?
Ooh.
Oh,
3,000.
300 easy.
1500, yeah.
Yeah, it's around like 1,200 right now on eBay
Wow.
with 15 people watching the sale.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Thought I still got the
there's
GameCube.
yeah, there's like
You know what
holy
though?
shit.
You can't base a price off of gaming off of what's up for sale. You have to base it off of the sold listings.
True.
Yeah.
But
Because, I
I'm
mean,
sure it's
there-
not far off.
There is like a rated copy, a graded copy, new and sealed for just over 3,500.
Wow.
That's
How much do you
insane.
love this game?
Yeah,
To never open it still.
yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
Wow.
So, given that we did a little like history lesson back into our previous Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, how did you feel about those, like jumping into it compared to, I mean, maybe say like Arceus? I don't fucking know. We didn't even did an episode on it, and
Arceus.
okay, all right,
Arceus.
that one, how'd it go?
Me first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a little worried jumping into it because the whole internet was just shitting on this game so hard, and for good reason. I mean, it ran terribly, and the initial premise was kind of weird, but once you get through the beginning dialogue and all the story and explanation as to why you're in school and all of that, and you get your first Pokemon, and then you're just unleashed into this world, and you can really just go wherever you want. That was pretty cool. I really liked that. And there was no linear way to play these games anymore. You could just go anywhere, and there was a few times where I ended up in an area that I was way too under leveled to be in, and I actually got my ass kicked, which has never happened in a Pokemon game, and I really appreciated that.
I kind of love that too. Like it's not like it's just like, the invisible wall that doesn't let you go to it. It's just like, go in there.
The Snorlax
good fucking
your
luck.
way.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Fallout game where you walk into like Deathclaw Valley by accident or something. Discover a Deathclaw for the first time. Yeah.
Get good, kid.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely interesting, and it's interesting to see how like the Pokemon genre has definitely like shifted away from that very, very linear, like you said, the Snorlax blocking the road unless you complete other parts of the story and stuff, given like full on adventure.
Let's quiz Kyle here really quick. Kyle, what is the other parts of the story you have to complete to then move the Snorlax?
Yeah.
What is the item that you need to obtain to move the Snorlax?
To say that it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's an understatement. I honestly have no fucking clue.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
You even played that one. That was in the first one.
Yeah, in like 6th grade. Jesus Christ.
Can we just? Oh, go ahead.
Something
Go
musical?
ahead, Roxy.
Yeah.
Does that help jog your memory? An instrument of sorts?
God damn it, Kyle.
It's got to be a pan flute. It's always a goddamn pan flute, right?
Okay, Kyle, do they still? I know your kids are slowly getting older. Are you going to get the recorder in your household here sooner? Because that'll wake you the fuck up.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there you go.
No.
Okay. Just think of that. The Poke Flute is a recorder.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can
Just
we
blast
just-
on that and wake the Snorlax up.
Yeah.
Can we just appreciate that over the generations, they've progressively made Snorlax stand up in his design? Like,
Sometimes it takes a while.
Gen 1, he was laying down, passed the fuck out, and now he's like all awake, alive, and moving.
Yeah, he was sitting. He was leaning up against a tree. Now, like in Arceus, he was like super angry and giant walking around that one riverside.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's pissed off because he woke him up.
Yeah, just took
He
him
had
a
to
long
stand
time.
up. Yeah.
I mean, you eat 1,000 pounds of food a day and not lay down for a decade.
It's true.
But you know what?
the older I get, right after dinner, if I lay down, I'm gone.
Yeah. That's,
Like,
While we're on the topic of Snorlax, though, I don't know. I mean, everybody has their favorite Pokemon, and I think it really depends on where you started in the franchise that affects what your favorite Pokemon is. But for me, it's Snorlax.
Yeah.
It's always been my
Really?
favorite.
He's
And
up
he's
there
been
for
in
sure.
every single game except this new one. And I have to say, I was a little disappointed.
Snorlax is an institution. God damn it.
Yeah.
Snorlax has been in
It is.
every game. Like I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
seeing
Except a lot of them were
Munchlax.
like normal Pokemon. That was the thing. They're like, he's a normal, and he was a staple, right? He blocked the path
Yeah.
in like 3 games at least.
You
You
shot
always
my
have a
paws.
Snorlax problem.
I'm surprised
wall
he's
that
not
we can
in this, Jen. I'm surprised he's not in this one.
Yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
like one of those
when
raid things.
hopefully, but whenever they announce a new Pokemon and they slowly release the Pokedex, there's always the group of people that are just so disappointed that their favorite Pokemon didn't make it over. And now
Yeah.
that there's like 1,008 Pokemon, that's going to happen. But Snorlax has always sort of been like B tier underneath Pikachu. Like Pikachu's going to be in every fucking game, but Snorlax
Yeah.
was always like right there.
It
True.
seems
That's a
pretty.
good point.
It seems pretty Toad Scroll not to include him.
Makes it. I know people have been complaining, especially on now that you're going to Switch. You have the capacity.
Yeah.
Put more like if this is a way that you kind of Hunger Games out some of the shittier Pokemon. Like we don't need piles of garbage.
Bidoof.
We don't need ice cream cones.
Bidoof.
I don't know if we necessarily need like the janitor's set of keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
think-
my god.
I think
Those
there's
are my
something to
favorite
say.
memes, though.
Bring back
Yeah.
more of the Pokemon, and then if you do need to get rid of some, get rid of like the really bad ones.
You mean like Flamigo?
Yeah.
Like
the straight up just Flamingo.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the fact that some of these Pokemon, you can tell that like the series is starting to struggle a bit when they literally, the designers are running out of ideas. They're getting so lazy that they literally just have included an earth animal and took out one letter of its name and suddenly it's a Pokemon. Or, like
They've been doing that for years.
Spelling it name backward, like Ekans and Arbok. Those are fucking snake and cobra backwards.
That's clever.
Lazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the backwards name. That's
And then you got
good.
Muck. Am I right?
Yeah.
How about Orthworm? I said this last time. I still think the way they drew him, he looks like he should evolve into Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
We got the little white collar on him. It looks like the space.
Yeah.
Like, make it
best crossover ever.
That's the crossover that we need in Pokemon for sure. On that note, though, like I guess question for you, Roxy, would you ever want a game that has the entire Pokedex in it, or do you like the fact that they've like split it up and taken different chunks?
I mean, yeah, why not? Would I complete the Pokedex? Probably not, but if Nintendo could ever get on the same level as other consoles, sort of spec-wise, and be able to run these like massive games, then why not have all of them? Even if some of them are just sort of like a rare pop-up or something. I don't know. I miss the days of going into EB Games and having to get those codes to get those special edition Pokemon on your DS, or like they were doing that weird QR code thing for a while on the 3DS, but those days are kind of over. Like you might get a little scratch code in your copy.
Can you add
of the
everything
game
now? Like with that Pokemon Home thing?
Yeah. Right. That's...
But I mean,
it's like a service. It's like a paid service. Like you have to
really.
Yeah, you
it's
can.
Free now.
It wasn't before though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
Yeah, and they'd probably you're like forking out all this Fido just to like.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
I'll give you that.
Thanks.
Don't feed him.
Don't encourage the animal. Get out of here.
Just a little bit of encouragement. That's all I need.
Okay.
But like to further Trevor's point, like man, some of the funniest videos I saw are like the little clips where like a Dragonite is in the raid, and what am I going to summon? My car keys. Like, here we go. What is that? Oh my god, it was so frustrating when I'm like, you come up with all these cool things and evolutions or whatever, and I'm battling with a fucking teacup and a set of car keys. Like,
and you can definitely tell that for some of them they thought a little bit. And then there's a bunch where they think a ton about it and put in a lot of effort.
I think that might honestly be the issue, though, and probably why we haven't seen the full Pokedex on the Switch games is
because it couldn't handle it.
Well, that's the thing. To your guys' point, like they can't, like that console can't handle that, which is kind of a shame because
there's like 1,000 different weapons in Breath of the Wild. Like, why can't you have 1,000 different Pokemon?
Yeah, but how well does that game run?
Not terrible.
I mean, it's...
I don't know about the new one, but the original is okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't really speak on the back end of games because I don't have any experience in that, but it would be great. But you also have to think, like, yes, there's all these Pokemon, but then every single Pokemon has an attack movement, a dying movement, all of the moves they can learn, they have to be able to do that, and that's just attached to one Pokemon, and then they have to do it again with a shiny Pokemon because everything's fucking shiny now.
Yeah. I do like that they've made shinies more attainable, like over the last couple games, because that has changed. When I was playing Brilliant Diamond, I just randomly caught this Poliwhirl, and that was my like first shiny I ever caught it, and I was losing my shit. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like. I've heard of this happening. I've never actually had this happen.
Only heard tales.
Yeah, who knew? But that was another game though that did have a shitload of Pokemon because once you go to the underground and you beat the game and if you do all of the first Pokedex, it unlocks the second Pokedex, which had a shitload.
Double decks.
Yeah, it was massive. That
Seriously?
was a catalog.
That's kind of the funny thing, though, because I'm kind of with you. My first shiny was in Arceus. And
yeah, me too.
Like, I've played every mainline game, gold and silver. I've probably played through the story of that gen fucking 30 times. And I've never caught a shiny in that either. So I agree with you. I love the fact that the more recent ones, they are more readily available. It makes it a bit more enticing post game once you've beat the story to just, throw it out there for another 5 or 10 hours of gameplay and just see if you can catch one, But any of the older games, as soon as I was done with the story and the final 4 and like leveling up the guys that I wanted to be super powerful, I was done with the game after that. I didn't do any shiny hunting that a lot of people do. That was never for me.
Yeah. That also seems like super grindy to try and find.
Which is not Kyle's thing. That's not in Kyle's repertoire.
Monster Hunter World didn't go well.
Oh god. No. But
oh my god.
But getting back to Scarlet, so what did you think of the story? So I think we've talked about this. This one is in Spain, Kyle? I think you mentioned when we
Spain-ish.
Spain
or Mexico adjacent. Or something.
Yeah, aside like you had mentioned, the kind of the school kid story, which is kind of similar except a little more open. Was the story, did it hold up? Like what was the premise, I guess, in this one?
The main premise is you go to school, and it's strange because they seem to put most of their effort into designing this school, because you can go and you actually have to take classes, and some of them are actually like real school. Like you have to take math class, and it was my nightmare. I'm not even gonna lie. I looked shit up. Like, I'm not doing school again. I did it. But anyways, you go to school and they're basically like the whole point of your
Yeah, thanks.
I did my time.
Only some parts of school are great, but not math. Fuck math class.
Yeah, facts.
But sorry if you're a math teacher. But you go and they're like, all right, go out into this big, great world and go on a treasure hunt and find what your own personal treasure in life is, basically. And then you leave and you bump into 3 of your, I guess, the rivals that you have in this game. And oh no, there's only 2. You meet the 3rd one later. Sorry, that's a spoiler. You might want to cut that out.
Yeah. We spoil everything here.
Yeah.
Okay, but one of them's like, oh, let's go do all the gym battles, because one rival is obsessed with fighting, and the other one's like, no, come and fight giant Pokemon with me so we can find these herbs to make sandwich. So you could really just go either way. And then you've heard about these other Team Star, who's essentially the Team Rocket of this game, and you have to go and fight them to close down all their battle camps. So those are sort of the 3 main headlines, and you make your way through that. And
I mean, good for Team Rocket. They achieved their goals, and they shot for the stars. They shot for the stars, and they
did it.
They did it.
The villains in this game and the last 2, like, they don't really have an evil plot anymore. They're always just sort of like, aha, we're annoying. That's all we got.
We are here to inconvenience you. Thanks.
Yeah.
The story was really good, though. Like, I enjoyed the especially the Area Zero stuff. Like, that was really cool. The character she's talking about making a sandwich. You meet this guy named Arvin, whose dog is sick, and he's his Pokemon dog is sick, and he's trying to use this book that his mother or father, depending on which game you have, wrote, that has all the information on like these magical herbs that could possibly cure him and bring him back to full fighting health and stuff.
The Necronomicon?
And so, yeah. And so you're essentially just helping him try to make his Pokemon back to normal, and then you go down into Area Zero where his parents are working. But in Scarlet, for like the one I played Scarlet, and Roxy played Violet, so we had different experiences. in the game. But like when I go back, you go into the past because his mom is stuck in the past. These like time machine things.
So she's a boomer.
Nope, but she does look like a cave woman. But
real pass.
Yeah, like
I don't think. No, the parents weren't boomers. These games shouldn't have been called Scarlet and Violet. They should have been Pokemon Mommy and Daddy. Because my God.
Oh my God! Did you get the new Pokemon Mommy?
A very different audience. That would have.
You just Pokemon time, and the mom is just the lady from Resident Evil.
Oh God!
Just vampire mommy.
Pokemon Daddy's just some guy in like leather harness.
I'd play that.
Just what is that? What is that meme where it's just like it's a Diglett, but he's attached to a body and it's just Jack?
Yeah.
It's just three Jack dudes holding each other. The Doug trio.
Yeah.
That's one of your starter Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Sign me up.
Jesus Christ!
Pokemon's
This took a weird turn, guys. I feel like we're starting to write like Pokemon like fan fiction here.
Oh, I'm sure
Trademark. Good enough gaming podcast.
You know,
100% that exists already.
An aside for this, I don't know if anyone's into like.
Wait, are you gonna tell us you write your own Pokemon fan fiction?
No, I don't write fan fiction. But, there's a bunch of like ROM hacks for the original Pokemon game, like Blue and Red, and there's actually either. It has different names, but I think the main one's Pokemon X, and they sort of rewrote the story to be adult. And it like the dialogue is so bad in it. You can look it up. There's tons of people doing playthroughs on YouTube, but it's just like an X-rated like porn parody of Pokemon, but it's the same formula.
Jesus.
Just people stuffing Rattatas up their ass. And...
Calm down, Richard Gere.
Oh boy.
But yeah, there's tons of fan-made ROM hacks on Etsy, and a lot of them are R-rated. There's like Pokemon Ghost, where you know in the original Pokemon when you went to that ghost tower and you would encounter Pokemon, and they all sort of looked, but they all looked like a ghost before you got that like
Silph
viewer. Yeah. Well, that's your starter Pokemon in Ghost, and basically the whole game is the same story. You can't catch any other Pokemon. Nothing. You just get this one Pokemon, and then at the end you beat the Elite Four and everything, and then the Pokemon turns on you and kills you and wipes your game, and you have to restart.
What?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Some M. Night Shyamalan twists right there.
Yeah, right.
With a twist.
For real.
But yeah, I mean, back to the story. In the beginning, when you start doing all of these, it's a little overwhelming to just have all of these stories to accomplish in Pokemon. But once they start pulling out a little more and you get more background information, like the first time you go and defeat one of these giant Pokemon, you don't know that you're helping the dog. And then he comes running up and he's like, "You did it. There's the herb. Okay, go sit down. I'm going to make you a sandwich." And then he like calls out his dog, and you're just like, "Oh my God, I'm invested in this now. I need to help this boy and his poor sick dog." But the story was great. Especially when all three of them come together, and then you do have to do those three main storylines to unlock Area Zero. They're all so heartwarming and touching.
There's some like damn near tear-jerking moments, like in some of the ends of some of their storylines. Like it was good. The story was good. It's too bad some of the facets of the game were dog shit, but the story was good.
That's actually pretty surprising, considering like some of the more recent ones have been so formulaic or just like kind of bland. Like Arceus was kind of iffy. It had some bits to it, and then like Sun and Moon were kind of same thing, except for like the girl and her mom from another dimension, which was very confusing.
Like I never played Sword and Shield, but I heard those were awful.
Yeah, I heard those weren't great either. But then before, but until that point,
we did get Ball Guy from Sword and Shield, and that man is a treasure.
You said Bald Guy?
Ball Guy.
Ball Guy.
You don't know who Ball Guy is? He's just this like dude wearing a Pokeball as a helmet, and he just like dances in all these places, and he'll give you free Pokeballs. And It's just this
It
weird.
sounds like the Toad of the Pokemon world.
He turned into a big meme back when Sword and Shield first came out because he just dances and he's super uncomfortable to look at for too long, and he's got
He's one of those
ass.
buff daddies. Just like the buff
super
Diglett.
tight shirt, tight ass shirt and Pokeball on his head.
Yeah, you just yells at you,
where's
and
the
he's
schmedium?
like, "Here's your free Pokeballs," and then you go to the next gym, and he's just there again, dancing away, and just yells at you and gives you more Pokeballs.
Okay. He's just living his best life. All right?
Yeah.
He's just let the man dance.
Oh,
Fishing
God.
Pokemon money out of his underwear.
Yeah, for real.
All right,
Not
so
hiding in those tight shirts.
oh Jesus, I'm gonna stop this side tangent mischief that we're experiencing.
That
And
was
we're,
Arvin's dog.
and we're gonna take a quick a dual feature today for the treasure trove. Treasure trove. All right, so with the treasure trove this week, we've actually got Roxy is going to go first with a treasure trove suggestion for everyone, and then Jordan's going to dig into his deep chest of treasure troveness. Roxy, do you want to grace us with your guest spot for the treasure trove today?
Yes. Actually, I just finished this game on Sunday, and what a fun ride it was. So I've been playing Eastward, and it's a pixel-based action-adventure game made by Chucklefish, who is also the studio that released Stardew Valley. So in sort of the way the game looks, it's very similar to Stardew. So if you're into that kind of graphical game, I think it'll be right up your alley. But play-wise, it's totally different. It's pretty sad. So it's set in sort of a post-apocalyptic world, and everything is just sort of crumbling around you. And you are a man named John in this underground town, and he finds this white-haired girl just while he's out mining one day, and she just sort of becomes his pseudo-daughter. And things happen, and eventually you have to leave. And as the story progresses, you're sort of finding out like what happened to the world and like what's up with this girl, and it kind of sort of relates. And you go to all these different towns via the train. And one of the trains, for some reason, is like this weird villain called Sharon, which was pretty strange. But one of them.
Odd.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just funny because the train's name is Sharon.
It's Thomas's ex-wife.
Sure.
But yeah, the writing in it is, it really just like builds up these characters and you fall in love with them, and then they just rip them away from you, and it's heart-wrenching the first time it happens, and then it happens again and again and again, but you have to keep going through this story and just, it's been a long time since I've played a game where I actually stayed up late because I was so close to finishing it. I was like, well, I might as well. And I was on the last boss fight. And when you really get into a game and you're like on the couch, but you have to stand on your feet and like really lean into it just because you keep dying and you just get all sweaty, and then you finally beat it. And it's been a long time since the game's done that for me. And this one did it. And I can't recommend it enough. I had such a good time with it, and the ending just took a little piece of my heart, but it's very good. I would rate it.
What did you play it on?
I played it on the Switch. I think originally it's a Steam game. I am a sucker for physical games, though.
Yeah.
So I ordered the physical version, and my God, I don't know if they just messed up porting this game, or maybe mine was just a fluke, but this game would crash every hour to 2 hours. But I just kept playing it because the story was so good. I was so invested. So if that says anything.
Yeah, I think
That's awesome.
Jordan, you said this is on Game Pass right now?
Yeah. So I stumbled across it on Game Pass. It's available there. And then, Roxy, Switch, and Steam. I think if you do want to buy it even digitally, it's not that expensive. I think it's a pretty cheap game.
Yeah, I think it came out in 2020, so it's, I mean, by game standards, a little older now.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's definitely Stardew meets like Fallout meets Last of Us, like style wise.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot one little neat part about it too, for people who like games within games, but there is this sort of mini game that you play called Earthbound that is a parody of the earlier Dragon Quest games.
What?
Right.
What?
If it's not fishing, Daryl's in.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Tell me a minigame that isn't fishing.
Daryl's all about the Final Fantasy squats. Just basic squats.
I couldn't crush those.
So tell us about the mini game, because now you have all of our attention.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say too much on it because I usually don't. It's too much. I can't play a game within a game or anything. If anything's within anything, I can't do it. Like I remember when I read Watchmen for the first time, and there's that mini comic with the like dude who's cast away. I didn't read that part, and I went back and read it. But it's I think it's similar to like Dragon Quest 2, and it's just basically you are a knight. You have to go and rescue the princess from the evil lord. But
that's fantastic.
One part that kind of adds to the game is while you go to different towns, you find these coins throughout the games, and you put these coins into these gachapon machines that are in each town, and then you get these little figures for the game that are just monsters from the game.
Oh, sweet.
And there's levels of rarity, but you use these figures in the game to help you beat it, because you can't beat the game without having really strong figures.
Cool. Like amiibos.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. It's all just a marketing plot for amiibos.
Amiibos.
This is a very meta way to do it, but subliminally subliminal.
That sounds awesome, though. And like, as soon as you said that these guys had a part in Stardew Valley, like that's still one of my favorite Switch games that I've played. It's such a relaxing, like laid back game. Great music, art style's phenomenal. So yeah, it's definitely on my list. And when I stumbled on it through Game Pass, I downloaded it immediately. So I'm curious to play it. It sounds awesome, though.
Oh, I'm like interested to hear what you think about it. And
it's on my list now.
It's funny because the mini game is called Earthborn, but I would say that the way that Eastward plays out, especially character wise and character interactions, it really reminds me of Earthbound. Oh, okay. So I think that might be why they sort of did that.
A little bit of a call out to it. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
But yeah, if you guys play it, I'd be curious to hear what you think about it.
I put it on my play later list on Xbox, so I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because this game, with finishing it, this is the second game I've beaten this year, which is amazing because I don't beat games ever, and we're in February, and I beat 2 games already. This is the year I beat games.
Hell yeah!
Was the first one Pokemon, or what was the first one?
Yeah, I'm counting it because I didn't finish it last year.
That's fair.
It counts.
Hey, it's still a win is a win.
Yeah, it counts. Absolutely, it does.
Just had to check what made the list.
Oh, man.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Roxy. I'm going to throw it to Jordan now to give us his treasure troveness.
Yeah, so my treasure trove this week is very different, but something I stumbled across later last year, and finally it went on sale. But it's a game called Redout 2. It's made by Saber Interactive. If anybody has played Wipeout on PlayStation,
sweet,
one of the OG racing games. Redout is basically an homage to that. It's a light cycle, futuristic racing game. Kind of the cool things that they've done a little bit differently, though. They partnered with a bunch of like EDM and techno and electronic artists to create original music for the game.
Oh, nice.
And the music changes based on what's happening in each race. Cool. So it kind of changes a lot and gives you a little bit more variety to what you're listening to. And it's one of the first games in kind of this genre, being, more futuristic, where there's actually customizable parts for your ship. So you can change colors, you can change, wing fins, and as you get different upgrades, you can kind of change the look of certain vehicles.
Nice.
Like that.
So that's super cool. It's definitely something like if PlayStation ever dipped their toes back in the Wipeout franchise, those are the things that I would love to see them take on and do fully customizable ships that you can race in.
Mhm.
But yeah, very cool game. It plays incredibly well on PS5. It's super smooth. Some of the environments are gorgeous. It's an indie studio, so it might not have like the same polish as even the last Wipeout on. I think the remaster was on PS4. But if you're looking for a racing game, kind of that arcadey style, picking up missiles and shooting other guys, and kind of futuristic environments, definitely check it out. Like I said, I think I picked it up probably. I want to say for $20. So yeah, check it out. Definitely a good one to scoop up. So yeah, Redout 2 is the name of that one.
Worth it.
Sweet.
Recommend.
Awesome. So now that both of you have finished brambling about your treasure trove picks, I thought it would be Shrudel to talk about the future of Pokemon, and I think there was actually like recent announcements regarding Game Freak and the Pokemon universes.
There was.
Were they not looking to move away from the Pokemon franchise as a whole?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I heard they were trying to develop some other stuff, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're basically, after the fan reception to Scarlet and Violet, they kind of came out and said that there's some developer fatigue in their studio, and they've got a good chunk of the team that's been developing for Pokemon games for so many years that they're looking to start creating original IPs again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, they got to be a pretty big studio by now, so I think you'll probably see two different teams, and they'll split. They'll still have a dedicated Pokemon team, but then they'll start, doing some original IPs, which I'm okay with. That doesn't bother me at all. Maybe we see a little bit of a change with the Pokemon formula down the road. I don't know.
Well,
imagine that being your 9 to 5 though. Like, well, gotta go to work today and create some new Pokemon. And half these guys are like quiet quitting because they're tired of the same shit all the time. Well, what are we gonna do today? How about a bird?
I drew my lunch today. I drew my string cheese.
Hey, I'm rebuilding my car.
And we're gonna make him the 1000th Pokemon. He's gonna be gold, and he's gonna look just like the cheese string guy.
Yeah, Johnson, you get a raise.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that news, but I don't know. Do you think the fatigue is not so much from doing Pokemon all these years, but the fact that they pumped out 3 fucking games last year?
Yeah, I get
nuts.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
It does show, like in some of the sparsity and some of the environments and stuff. It's like I just wish they I would take 1 game a year, which even then is a lot.
Yeah.
To just get something a bit more quality, a bit more polished, and
it
does make sense. They've been doing Pokemon's 25, 30 years old now. Like it's,
I think 32.
It's up there.
Yeah. That hurts
actually.
I'm curious though, because they did launch new IPs. I mean, Little Town Hero came out early 2022, maybe late 2021, and they hyped that game up so much, and it came out and it flopped.
Yeah.
It was sort of their, what was it, like a rock, paper, scissors kind of combat style?
Yeah.
Which is Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know. I mean,
Pokemon's
they tried
advanced
something.
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Well, they tried something new and it failed. So I mean, I'll take whatever they're going to try.
So we're never doing that again.
Yeah. I mean, I think, we've probably all said this to nauseum, but like I would love to see the Pokemon franchise, kind of take some inspiration from Digimon. Like I would love. I think it would be awesome to see fusion added into Pokemon games.
Someone's been doing that on like Instagram and TikTok. There's like you're saying, like some sort of a ROM mod where someone's been doing like Pokemon fusions, and they are fucking awesome.
Yep, I've seen those, like the mods and stuff, and the guys like create cool. New fusion Pokemon all the time. I think that's the way you go now. You've already made all these fucking Pokemon. You're running out of ideas, and it is showing. Like just start fusing these things together. Like if I can fuse my favorite Pokemon from all the generations together and make different unique combinations, like if I can put a Charizard and a Scyther together, I might lose my fucking mind.
But if you take the set of keys, and from the new Pokemon, if you take Varoom, do you just get a car?
It's a Kia product.
No,
it's a Kia.
Well, it's funny because when you fight the star bases in the game, every star base leader you fight, their final Pokemon is a Varoom attached to a car that they're riding. So,
oh my god,
Oh my god.
That's like amazing. That's like the new coughing. That's like the new bad guy. Like Ekans coughing. Like
everybody's got
okay,
one.
I'm gonna go fight 80 of these things.
Yeah,
go fight a giant Varoom.
Yeah, Pokemon fusing would be the next great gimmick, because all the gimmicks in every gen mostly have been pretty lame. I did like the Gigantamax thing. I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know. Most of the other ones have just been...
This terraforming thing in this one was super lame. Like, I didn't like it. Like, I thought it was...
The motorcycle car Pokemon.
Yeah, like this one was like kind of... I never played X or Y, but there's like the extra evolution thing in one of those series.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so like there's like the fourth kind of, it's the mega evolution.
The VMAX. The VMAX.
Yeah, it's like mega evolution, yeah.
And I think they were trying to kind of do that, but like with any Pokemon at any time kind of thing. Like you could do it to your starter when they're at their first gen or in their like third gen form. Like, so I was just like, this looks stupid. Like now I have a fucking fire alligator with a chandelier on its head with candles lit. Like that's its terraform. And I was like, this looks stupid.
It does look so silly, but I think from a competitive point of view in the games, it's probably a really interesting sort of gimmick. You change your Pokemon type essentially, so you could have a fire type and their Terra type could be water, and then that sort of changes the whole rock paper scissors strategy in your battle.
Yeah,
but they look so stupid.
I think there was a better way of going about it than putting a giant fist on somebody's head because they're fighting Pokemon, or like there were some dumb ones. I was just like, man, I can't take this seriously. There's just a flower sitting on top of this thing's head.
Okay. On that same note of dumb ones, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at more of the roster from Scarlet and Violet. There is a fucking salt Pokemon. Nocli is NaCl.
Yeah, NaCl.
Oh, ha!
It's salt.
And then there's a Noclis stack, so a stack of salt blocks. And then a Gargan Knuckle. So like,
looks like he's from
Gargan salt.
Yeah, it looks like he's from Minecraft.
Yeah, that's a salt monster.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a salt monster. I thought it was just another rock thing. But I guess that is a rock.
Will assault you.
Oh, boo.
I mean, there's always goofy ones.
Yeah.
And like that, you have to expect that with the naming of some of these things like that, it's going to be closely tied.
That's true.
Yeah. I am curious though, Roxy, for you, like, what would you like to see in a new game, or maybe something from like a previous gen that they haven't done in a while that you would like to see come back?
Like a feature.
Yeah, like if it was like Roxy's wish list for Pokemon, what would you want to see?
I mean, they kept the pet washing in, so I'm good. Best
Power
feature in the
washing
game.
simulator.
Scrub your Pokemon. I think a lot of the Pokemon games had sort of an extra feature where you would go underground, or you would have a clubhouse, or some kind of like extra thing. And I thought you would have that in this game because you have your own dorm room, but your dorm room has zero purpose other than to just sleep. And
it doesn't change.
Really?
No.
You can't customize it or anything?
Nope.
Really? Huh.
I don't even know how to change my buy stuff to change my picnic table. Like, I didn't even know where to get that stuff.
Yeah, the towns are so lackluster in the new game that the only stores you can go into are stores that you can buy sandwich making tools and then a couple cell phone skins for your Rotom phone. And I don't know, things like the incense and stuff like that. But they're just, like, you know how in every Pokemon game you would go and there would be that one like mega mall where there would be like 13 floors and every floor you'd buy something new? And there was always little hidden things. You'd like look in trash cans or just things like that. They completely removed the element of like that RPG element where you just click on everything.
Right.
They got rid of that.
Yeah.
Did they?
They need to keep that.
Did they take out
there's no
slot machines
gambling in
and
this
gambling?
one.
Pokemon's ruined. Walking around the slot machine
Oh my god.
shop and like clicking the floor to try and get like 3 coins off the floor. Checking the garbage can.
It would be kind of cool to add in, like, to your point of the dorm. Why, Animal Crossing was such a massive hit during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not add some of that into a Pokemon game where you almost get to create your own sanctuary or acreage
That was
so your Pokemon can roam. You can customize like putting fences and where you put barns and
Jordan, this sounds like a Tiger King DLC.
let me live my best life, Kyle, okay?
Yeah.
Let
Come
me
see
live
my
my best
Pokemon
life.
farm.
That was a big thing. That was in was it Ruby Sapphire where you get like a clubhouse, like you pick a spot to put up your secret base, and then that was half the shit you could buy was like posters and like plushies and stuff. And you would like
and I
cool
think
hangout spot.
they could have done that in this game. There was such a missed opportunity because now you can go online and play with friends. Why not have this clubhouse that would be unique to you? And when you connect online with your friends, that's sort of your like hub. But nothing.
That seems like a no-brainer for this game.
Give me my Pokemon.
I'm shocked that they had nothing of that.
Yeah, all you really
That's a
got,
throwback.
all you really got from multiplayer was just insane glitching out and just turning super huge and super small. And I don't know if you've seen these glitches, but they're great.
Yeah.
Where you get like super long limbs or stuff, and then you're like
You jump on your motorcycle Pokemon.
Or get the Wiglet like coming out of the guy's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Some of those clips,
Alien.
those were pretty funny.
Oh my god.
Definitely not Alien Kyle. Think lower.
Yeah.
All right then.
But yeah, I feel like I didn't really answer that question, but so many things. I'm open to new things, but the things that they take away and the things that they carry forward in every game just doesn't make sense. Like the washing of the Pokemon, I feel like that's been in the last like 4 or 5 games. But now you can't ride Pokemon. Like, why not? In the Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, when you could like ride Persian and Arcanine and all of that, even Snorlax, it was so cool. I don't know why they got rid of that.
You just rode all the like different kind of region legendaries in Arceus, like But I mean, but this one you get the legendary thing right off the gate. You just can't use it until the end in battle, which I also thought was kind of weird.
Which is stupid too.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Yeah, having a legendary right off the hop to me just seems So strange.
I mean, he's pretty useless in the beginning. You got to get a couple sandwiches into him before he starts doing anything.
So it's Kyle.
He just
what
was
you're saying.
angry. He's just angry.
We need to get a couple sandwiches into Kyle before he becomes useful.
Since we're only recording audio, I'm giving Jordan the finger.
Love you, buddy.
Except sandwiches or beer.
Bring back like the running shoes. Bring back the bicycle, and then later just give me the motorcycle and like the paraglider, right? Like kind of added.
Yeah.
Like there's ways that you can do that without just being like, here's the legendary Pokemon.
Yeah,
Here's your legendary motorcycle Pokemon.
Like give me
the
the
hang
give me the hang glider from Breath of the Wild at some point in a Pokemon game where you can just jump off of any tall spot and float your ass wherever.
After
Like,
the
that'd be
final
fun.
sandwich, your motorcycle Pokemon can do that, but only after the final sandwich.
Just
It's
make it a paraglider. You're a 12-year-old that's been allowed to just explore the world as like a traveling hobo. Like safety's out the window at this point. Like just
your parents don't give a shit about you. Yeah.
Go nuts.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to know because I feel like Kyle wants to go to bed soon. What is everybody's favorite Pokemon? I gotta know.
Of this gen or like this ever? Oh god,
ever.
That's a long list.
Oh,
And if you want to add in for Daryl and Roxy because you guys have played the newest one, you guys get to choose one from this game as well as your all-time favorite.
okay. That's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go first because
Kyle only remembers 5.
Kyle has one gen to go off of.
okay. This is based on the fact that I was a huge martial arts movie fan when I was younger. Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, because they were based on Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Super cool.
So good.
What about the baby Pokemon version?
Yeah.
You're speaking a foreign language. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't remember his name. It's like something kid.
Isn't it just Hitmonchan?
It is.
Yeah.
No.
No?
Oh yes.
It's Tyrogue is the pre-evolution.
Not Hitmonkid.
Hitmonkid.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, on to Trevor. Trevor, what's favorite Pokemon?
I just had it pulled up here. I had to scroll through the list of thousands. Where did he go? Tyrantrum? Is that it? Is that how you say it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Kind of one of those secondary 3 evolution bigger Pokemon. I always thought he was really cool though.
Yeah.
Jordan?
For me, it's Totodile from Gold, Silver.
Just basic Totodile or for alligator?
I mean, Totodile is cute as shit as a starter, but I do like all of his evolutions too. He was the first Pokemon I ever got to level 100.
Nice.
Yeah, and he stayed in my party the whole way through that game. Totodile.
He was the best starter in Gold, Silver. He was easily the best starter.
Yeah, that's the one I picked too.
Yeah.
Were you both dinosaur kids?
We do in Alberta,
yeah.
so we kind of have to be.
Yeah, I did watch a lot of The Land Before Time as a kid.
Jurassic Park, Land
Jurassic
Before
Park,
Time.
yeah. So, yeah, definitely was a dinosaur kid, I would say. Yeah, that and martial arts, Power Rangers, and all that shit. Yeah. All right, on to the experts. We got to know.
I do have to make a correction. I completely misremembered what mine's actually Aggron. Same thing, still a dinosaur.
Okay.
I'm mixing up my
That's fair.
Pokemon.
That's right.
My buddies, well, you guys already know mine, basically. Charizard is forever my favorite. That was my starter Pokemon.
You basic bitch.
Hey, it's I have a holographic Charizard card, and when I got that, I lost my fucking shit. So, like, that was a big deal when I was a kid. And yeah, just Charizard has always been my favorite. Who was another staple of most of the games, and rightfully so. But my favorite from this game was actually on the Violet game, which I was. Shout out to my friend Brittany, who helped me trade for almost everything that I needed by the end there. But that's Ceruledge. Ceruledge looks so flippin' cool. That's the first Pokemon like that I got excited about, like how cool it looked, since Scyther, which is another one of my like top 3 all-time favorite Pokemon is Scyther. So I was like, this thing looks sick.
Yes.
Ceruledge has some straight Digimon vibes. Like, why don't they do more stuff? Why don't they do more stuff like that in this game?
He's got blade arms and like a knight helmet, and it's like he's on fire. Like, this is checking a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, yeah, that's cool as shit. Wow.
Roxy,
Okay.
Bring it home.
Yeah. I mean, anyone who follows me on Instagram knows what my favorite Pokemon is. It's in my sort of icon, but Snorlax will forever and always be my favorite Pokemon. We're not recording video, but you can see my Snorlax shrine there.
nice.
Oh man.
That's yeah.
You know when
Nice.
when like people find out you like a thing and then they just always buy you that thing? Everyone just buys me Snorlax things, which isn't a terrible problem.
As I look back at my Deadpool shrine.
I have a red shrine beside me.
There you go. But for this gen, Clodsire won my heart over almost immediately. He's
That's just a silly thing.
oh, I love him so much. Just this dumb looking whale shark that just has spikes that come out of his back. He's my favorite, and I wait patiently for merch of him to come out because I will buy it right away.
It would be pretty awesome to have like a giant beanbag chair that's just a Clodsire. That would be the best.
Wasn't there like a giant Snorlax like that?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
That would also make a lot of sense.
I don't.
Oh.
I mean,
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm gonna buy myself because the practical side of me is like, I don't have any fucking room for that. And my
But we'll
cat,
find it.
if it shows up, I won't be upset. But
Yeah, of course.
There's your ticket, listeners.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, my birthday's December 30th.
Happy New Year!
That's lots of time to get ready for that.
Link to the Amazon wish list in the show notes.
Yeah. Start saving up, listeners.
Oh my god. Well, I think unless you have any other like final thoughts or
Got a ratings. Give me some ratings.
Yeah, we need a score for Scarlet Violet, you two.
yeah, I'm abstaining because
You don't say.
Daryl, Roxy, ratings for Scarlet Violet?
Yeah. Again, I'm going to break this up, but I think story-wise, this game is probably one of my favorites, especially the end boss fight was one of the most fun Pokemon end boss fights I've ever had. And we didn't mention it earlier, but the song in Area Zero fucking slaps. If you haven't heard it, go and listen to it. But yeah, I would give the story like an easy 9 out of 10. It was so enjoyable, and I think once you do all the stories and pull it together, it really makes the game a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay, graphics, the towns, they get like a big old fat 2 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Right, because you couldn't even like go into anything and explore really,
Couldn't
right?
go into the buildings.
No.
There's no
You
point.
could go into gyms, and even there was like one sandwich store you could go into and look around, and then every other store you'd go into, it would just bring up a menu. You couldn't even walk around in the restaurants.
Weird.
Disappointing.
Where the guy would teach
That's
you recipes.
super disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that one
I'm
Subway.
Yeah. Eat fresh. I agree. Like the story to me was like a 9 out of 10. and then but the gameplay was like a 4. Like there was lots of components they had brought in from Arceus that I thought were great, but the whole the best part of Arceus to me was that you didn't have to battle all the time. You could just sneak up and catch a Pokemon by surprise and just catch it like no problem. And I was like, this is awesome. And there's fucking 40 or 50 different types of Pokeballs now, it seems like. So the point of using these things in different situations and areas made more sense in Arceus, and they just were like, fuck it, and left that out.
Yeah.
But somehow still, to Roxy's point, kept the washing the Pokemon part, which was like, okay, who in your board meeting was like, what are we going to get rid of and what are we going to keep? And we're like, no, let's not keep the thing. Everybody was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is great. What a cool new component. Nope. Goodbye. We're keeping the washing the Pokemon.
Big
the Pokemon car wash is in.
Oh, I can just see that board meeting too. Just the guy who's been there forever in the corner, just like, we're keeping the washing, right? Gotta clean them beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, we'll keep it in if you shut the fuck up.
People just so tired.
Fred. God damn it.
So tired of their coworker, they just bend to whatever bullshit demands they have.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, it was kind of a bust for me. I got really into Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Arceus, and I couldn't wait to finish Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
So yeah, we played Arceus and Diamond and Pearl basically
together, you and
together.
Me. Yeah.
And we had so much fun playing those and trading and all that. So yeah, for this one to be a bust is super disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it, folks.
There we have it. Womp womp.
Could you say that this game was good enough?
Oh,
have you been here before?
Yeah, I think as a whole we could call it good enough as far as the story goes. Not so much for some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a Pokemon fan, you won't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep buying them and buying them and buying them.
Yeah. So once again, Roxy, thanks again for coming back and doing this a second time. I know a lot of people.
3.
Yeah, this better save this time.
This is actually just a fucking Groundhog Day thing. It's just
Kyle forgot to press record. We just lost everything.
Gotta start again.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, sorry, I'm losing you. I'm losing you guys.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah, so thanks again for joining us. Again, you're Rubu on Instagram, ROUXBOU.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any punctuation or symbols or hieroglyphics in there?
Nope, just Rubu, all lowercase. If you like Pokemon and hairless cats, well,
yeah,
give me a
check
follow.
out Grandpa.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hopefully everyone have a great week, night, day, whenever the hell you're listening to us. We hope you had a good enough time.
Good enough.
Good enough. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at GEG Podcast. Check out our website, goodenoughgaming.com, and write us an email about anything from our episodes or something you would like us to discuss in the future. You can also now join us on Discord on the Good Enough Gaming Discord server. We really appreciate you listening and hope you continue to join us on this epic adventure of discussing all things gaming and nerdy. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars so we can find more good enoughers in the process. Just remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.